Hello again, wrestling fans, and once again, apologies for our recent technical issues. Let me just say it will never happen again, unless it does. This is Discuss TNA Impact. I'm JaySin here with the Horror King Gary, who's been pumping out videos on his own channel. You can check it out. Should be a little link popping up now for it. We've had really good timing lately with these because Fightful Select just made a huge announcement, and then it actually happened by the talent. Josh Alexander is leaving TNA. His contract is coming to an end, and he just tweeted minutes before we started recording. What the hell was it? Like the Times thing? Gary, you know what I mean.
Oh, his end run or whatever of his
It's like a
contract.
time. It's like a time running out. What the hell do you call it? Yeah, well, whatever. His time is running out. That's what he posted. It was a little, whatever. I can't think of the fucking name.
Well, I too wonder if
Sorry, it's an
maybe.
hour. Sorry, it was an hourglass.
I also feel like it kind of could have been a thing where Anthem bought out the rest of his contract, maybe because maybe they knew he was like one of the people that was against Scott being fired.
Oh yeah, and I mentioned a while back the infamous, or not so infamous, since nobody fucking knows or talks about it or cared about it except the owner of the goddamn company who freaked the fuck out. Scott D'Amore took a picture in pajamas with Giselle, Josh, and Josh's wife and their kid a few years ago. I always cut the kid's face out because I'm not fucking around with putting anything about kids online or anything. But it's on her. It's still on her Instagram. And 3 of those 4 are now gone. I mean, obviously Josh's wife is not going to stick around. She got the job because of Josh. Got the job because of
Well,
Scott.
well, my thing is with it, Jay. When I see that photograph, I didn't have a problem with it initially, but then I look back on it now, and I mean, like, it was really, I don't know, just like kind of awkward because it's like you see, Scott's the vice president of TNA operations, and then you got her, Giselle, in the main event scene now, and it's like, I mean, how could a company be that blind to know that there was some kind of relationship going on?
Yeah, and I got a lot of shit from people saying, "Oh well, she's not getting pushed," and I'm like, "All right, she's I." To me, she was on television almost every week, and she lost like 50 title matches last year. So to me, that was still getting pushed. I think she's probably had more television time than any other knockout. I mean, people can look that up, or maybe it's similar to top knockouts where
I
she doesn't
definitely,
belong. She doesn't belong there. And the problem is she's a good talent. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, but
it,
she's going to be gone, and she'll because of Scott, she'll be a BCW or whatever. She actually just announced doing an indie show, which she never does, and I mentioned that in the past. She used to work in the UK. Never did a ton of indie stuff like most wrestlers in the
well,
goddamn universe because she didn't have to because of her boyfriend.
well, my biggest takeaway of it all is wrestlers are supposed to meant to be professional. And I get,
Yeah.
you got a lot of friends and bondsmanship in wrestling, but at the end of the day, you want what's best for the company. And like to me, I say you suck it up and you just deal with what's going on until you don't like what's going on.
Yeah, and listen, I know people will be pissed off. I don't care that Josh is gone. I'm happy. I'm totally cool with it. I thought he was Cena, but with no fucking interesting character. He would just beat everyone. People would come in, they'd lose to Josh. Gotch, I'm sure Gotch is gonna fucking lose to Josh. Angels just had a nice little fucking gimmick going, taps out to Josh. And what? He gets character work every fucking week for years, and he has no character. Like, waste of time. Was he a draw? Or did fans tune in?
I,
Did TNA gain fans when he was champion for how many fucking years? Or Super Josh when he wasn't champion, still beating everyone?
well, I mean, in the current landscape of the way Impact is right now, it's still dipping under 100,000. So it's very doubtful he's moving the needle. So
Yeah, we have
someone
news
else will
there.
have to
We have
step
news
into
there
that
also.
role.
87,000 was from the latest week. No one knows how to report these. It's 87,000 with .002 demo, which is terrible and terrible, or 87. I'm not sure. 82, 87, whatever. Nobody knows how to report it because there was no ratings for the 2 weeks previous. So they went from 110 to 100 to nobody knows, 87 or 82. This is after a fucking reboot of TNA, which everybody wanted. Now nobody's watching, but everyone's crying about Scott and his god awful booking that created this mess that no one's watching. There's the knockouts division is a fucking disaster where the best knockouts are stuck in tag teams.
Well, I have to question the fandom of the TNA Impact fan base because, like, I mean, what's a bigger sum of the parts? I mean, I got to go with a company over a company man every time.
Oh, I said that too. I'm like, are you a real fan? If the head coach of your team leaves, do you follow him or do you keep following the team?
Yeah, because that's like with Jimbo Fisher with me with Florida State. I know we're talking about TNA, but he went to Texas A&M and he fell flat on his face down there. And,
Here's a good question for you. What if your Philly head coach and Jalen Hurts both left? Would you stop being a fan?
No. I've been through the
Thank
thick
you.
and
You're a
thin.
fucking fan. Okay, that's all. So, I mean, I do think it's different with sports and all, and I do complain about that, so I'm kind of contradicting myself there, but that's kind of what I do. I contradict myself a lot, unless I'm right about shit, which I really think I was with this Scott thing. I mean, three out of four of those people in the picture were down. That picture was the thing I sent Ed Nordholm when he responded to me saying those are very serious allegations, Jay, and I literally first wrote back LOL before I deleted it, and then I wrote like something like, "I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to embarrass you, but it's on Instagram. I'm not. These are like, it's not allegations. Here you go. Here's the picture, dummy." That's I didn't write dummy, but that was it. That was the fucking picture, man. It was a long time ago. And now what? I mean, I don't know if it was based on that. I don't know if it was based on the fact that their ratings have gone to shit, which would make more sense. And now they're just getting rid of everyone who is saying, "Fuck you, Anthem. I want Scott." I mean, could you imagine that? Someone who works for you saying, "Fuck you. I want the boss back who you fired."
Well,
the audacity of these fucking nobodies who can't draw. Go ahead.
Well, what I laugh about it all more than anything is people are sitting back and passing judgment on this new regime, just like not even giving them a chance to prove themselves. We still got a new
Dolph?
set of tape.
Yeah, who do they think signed Dolph? Who stopped Scott from giving Braun Strowman $1 billion and a giant push in a fucking world he doesn't belong? That is TNA. He is not a TNA guy. He would tower over everyone and make everyone look fucking ridiculous. He couldn't have matches with half of the roster because he's not a good enough wrestler. And again, that's what Scott. That's a hill that Scott wants to fucking die on. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, and I totally think that they've got a plan. I do think there'll be some kind of director of authority going on, and I do think it will be a bit of a name. That's just a speculated rumor from me. I do think it's very possible we could land somebody like an Eric Bischoff or somebody of that that does have some wrestling.
Well, you broke my fake question for the week, which was, do you think TNA is coming to an end? There was Gary's answer. Mine is, honestly, right at this second, I do. But a week from now, after the tapings, it could be totally different. Like, they have to hire a wrestling guy. Like Gary just said, like, if they don't hire like a Bischoff, someone, I'm not saying Bischoff, I mean, that would be cool. He's a huge name. Cornette, like anyone like that would be sick. But if they have to hire someone who knows shit about wrestling, like this guy doesn't right now, and they're getting rid of Scott's people, I'm sure this isn't the end. I bet you if they're gonna maybe they actually will clean house, because that's what I said at the beginning of this TNA thing. You can't do a reboot unless you clean house. You know what I mean?
I mean, like what's going on with promoter Kerry Silken? He used to be with ROH. I doubt Tony's letting him do too much with the new ROH because it's not really in his image anymore.
He's locked. He's locked in a prison. He's locked in Tony's prison.
Okay.
He's got this prison. He's got this prison in his basement where he keeps like really important people and Ring of Honor. All of Ring of Honor. They're just all in this little prison. They get to come out and wrestle once a week, and Tony tells them they're on television, but they're actually not on television.
Well, I mean, I always have a little bit of method to the madness of thinking about Bischoff, just because he got kind of lowballed back in the day with WCW, and I mean, what better way to kind of stick it to the world of wrestling?
You fucking mentioned a while back he started talking about TNA. What was it?
Yeah, and he's totally been on the TNA boat. Or,
and that was would have been around the time where a guy like him would have known what was coming, because people now it's been reported Scott knew a month ahead of time, at least a month ahead of time. I think he knew way ahead of time, but whatever.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I don't know. I feel like if he was given one more chance and he kind of kept guys out of it like the way they were there the first time, like just get some, like younger talent that maybe they could coerce because of the fact he did a really good job with the production and Impact. I think it was some of the best production we ever had. And
I feel like he really wants to like just go after Tony, like just get if he can get any kind of numbers close to Tony and just abuse the fuck out of him, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm I'm getting 300 on TNA, you idiot. I'm beating Rampage, you know what I mean? Like he would love that.
Well, and the thing is, he has like insider information with like JaySin Hervey. They run that production company together.
He can get a better network, maybe. But I mean, that's
he definitely.
That's a different network. I mean, that's a guess of him buying out whatever. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
maybe they could bring him in as like a partner or something if they actually give a shit about wrestling. I think we're going to find out this weekend if they do, with the tapings. Either they bring in a wrestling guy or. The good news is, if anyone out there didn't know, Tommy Dreamer is not the head of creative, which was put out by Dave Meltzer, and was quickly was quickly proven wrong by Fightful, and then Tommy Dreamer, who was like, nope, nothing changed. I'm doing the same fucking job I've had this whole time, which is doing like everything. It honestly doesn't even sound like he's part of creative the way he was talking, or like maybe he's a small part of it, which it made me feel better. But whatever. So I could see them keeping Dreamer. I could see them getting rid of Dreamer. I could see them getting rid of fucking everyone. And kind of starting fresh, except, with some talent still there, like focus around Jordan and you get another dude or whatever. But Moose talked about leaving. I mean, like, we have no idea what's going to happen. These tapings are going to be so goddamn interesting, I think. These are the most interesting tapings maybe in the history of TNA, maybe.
Yeah, and then recently some of the people have signed fresh contracts, so they wouldn't be so easy to get out of it if Anthem really wanted to push
Look around, fans, if you haven't. A lot of the talent has been tweeting an awesome graphic of how and where to watch Impact, which is definitely, something Anthem said, post this shit, motherfuckers, and it's a smart thing. It's a simple thing. We mentioned last week they put them on, we mentioned last week they're putting them on Axis shows, so, like, they're doing stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a feeling that not everybody was on the Scott D'Amore train when he was there, though. Especially, like, the knockouts, because, like, I mean, you can't tell me they didn't notice, like, Giselle was, getting put to the forefront, like, almost on every show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe it took a while, but sorry, you just got me thinking of this song. Because of your I Got a Feeling thing. So I blame you for that. Now it's in my head, and we're gonna get a fucking strike or something because it was in my. All right, let's get to the TNA review for this week. I think that's all the news. There's been not much news. Again, tune in this weekend. Maybe we'll try and record earlier or something because I'm so fucking excited for those tapings. And I guess the Against All Odds. Is that what? No, that's not what it's called. No Surrender.
Oh yeah, this Friday on Impact Plus, and I guess you can get it on like a regular pay-per-view too, maybe, but I don't see the point of getting it that way if you can.
Yeah, maybe we'll run down. We'll try to run down that card after we do this review quickly, because we're going to try and get to like 20, 25 minutes to make sure we don't go to the point where no one can hear us anymore. So, as I always like to do, I like checking reviews from my two favorite writers. At TJR Wrestling, Christian Thompson. Sorry, I was going to play a noise. Didn't have it ready. 6.5 out of 10. Ouch. Also wrote, I really liked this week's show. It felt much better than last week, but I only give it an extra 0.5. They go on. Great stuff. Maybe I'll read that after, but I mean, yeah, I'll probably just read this whole thing after and pretend it's my review, so let's just forget about that for now. But Christian gave it a 6.5, and He-Man Shoe gave it a 7.2. And I feel like that's where they've been for a while, like 6.8, 7.
Yeah, even for Hitman, that's a little low for him. He's been going to that 7.5, 7.6 or whatever.
Yeah, I think I mentioned last week he usually kind of overrates things, at least in my opinion. Like, maybe he's just a huge fan. I don't know. Where I think Christian was also a huge fan, but I just think they're just like no bullshit. Like
well,
they have this
well,
amazing ability to just watch the show like as a fan and be nice or bash them, and I don't know, they're just great writer.
yeah, well, you had mentioned Christian Thompson had been saying as of late there's been a lot of like 5 minute matches, and
Yep.
I kind of gotten to see what he's talking about. I guess I kind of like overlooked it a little bit, but
Yeah,
like
so did I.
this
Totally.
week had a few that could have been a little longer, and like maybe a little less other things, but
Yeah, just have, I mean, less. Well, whatever. We'll quickly go down. So Kazarian took on Jake something, the worst booked wrestler in the history of TNA wrestling, possibly. Dude won the X Division match a few weeks ago for God knows what reason. He's not in the X Division. There hasn't been many X Division matches since, so now it looks like he's the best fucking X Division guy. And he loses to Kazarian in a good 10-minute match. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I don't
when
know.
Kazarian used the rope to get the 3 count.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I thought that
Are you liking heel Kazarian?
it's a little preliminary in terms of getting to get into him yet, because he's
Yeah.
kind of like his first rivalry, so he's not bad, but like I just want to see where it goes from here. But like I don't want to see like a best 4 out of 7 with Jake and Kazarian.
Oh no way. No, also get stop with that shit. 3 to 5s, like leave that for AEW. And if you're gonna do it, at least have fucking matches that are more than 5 minutes. But whatever, this was a good 10-minute one. Then backstage, EY said he wanted to talk to him like a man next week. I like that. EY and Kaz, 2 TNA close to originals or whatever. And then we had a non-title match between Jordan Grace versus Savannah Evans. This was pretty short. Jordan won. Christian says it was around 3 minutes. So the
Yeah,
constant burial of a monster, or what should be a monster in Evans, just it's a joke. They should just drop her because she's been ruined.
yeah, she's definitely killing the momentum of the show. Not solely on her, but
No,
like
not at all. No.
I I think without Jordan Grace in this match, I mean, this was totally skippable.
Maybe give her. How about this? How about give her a few fucking matches where she wins before she faces Jordan Grace? So maybe someone in the world thinks, holy shit, maybe she can win. But nobody thought she can win. And Giselle Shaw hit her with the, I don't know what the hell the thing's made of, styrofoam or something, and I can't buy that it's hurting Jordan, so it just really made me laugh. And she held
Oh,
up the world, and she held up the world title, which is the only time she'll ever be doing that again. Um, yeah, I mean, now I'll say 99% she's the next one going. She'll lose this match.
although I will say to Gishelle's credit, that running knee strike she did on Jordan looked like it was pretty devastating, though.
Yeah, she became a good wrestler. I mean, that's what it kind of pisses me off. Like, I don't want to like give her all like my hate is at Scott and like I don't know, whatever. She's involved obviously, but and she did take the
Yeah.
spot up. She took a spot up for a long time of people more deserving, but whatever. I mean, Jesus, how many more? Just in the last month or so, have we seen anything from like how many other knockouts have had any scenes in the back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jody Threat,
Yeah.
any of them. Like they never get anything, but Giselle gets one every week. But whatever. Dana Brooke, she's back, looking absolutely gorgeous. Iceman, totally unnecessary with her. He's too
Yeah, he's a
loud.
really he comes off really creepy for her. Like he kind of comes off like a pedophile. I shouldn't
Oh
say it, but
yeah,
he kind
it's
of
no, it's creepy.
kind of
Yeah,
with
yeah,
just
it's really weird.
different.
And the fact that he could never change his voice, like I don't know, I feel like he's always playing the same character when he could just like talk a little
Oh
different.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he
right.
can't stop talking with the announcer voice.
Yeah, he kind of sounds like the old guy at the carnival. Come see the dancing girl.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
then
mean? Like,
and then you bring out this gorgeous girl, and it's like, yeah, it is. It's also a little creepy. Then we had part two of my sound check, which I was glad to see back. Simon Gotch came in, and this was awesome. I'll be honest, this was great. I mean, I didn't know this.
yeah, that's
I mean, it was great because it was an actual story, like you know what I mean, which maybe they fell backwards into because they noticed it, like one of those things. Oh shit, Gotch is out there. Oh my god, he's the guy that lost to Josh Alexander that time.
yeah, which kind of sucks because it's a story that has a pretty good promise, and now Josh is gone,
Oh,
so we could.
maybe now Gotch wins, and we get a Gotch push. Ugh. All right, match. Then we had match 2 in the tag thing, and see, this is why I hate best out of whatever. Like, you knew the Bullet Club was winning this. The Grizzly veterans are not going to go. They weren't going to sweep them. I mean, this was a good match. I don't know about the time. I'm sorry, 11 and a half minutes. So maybe someone was paying attention, and because this match had 2 matches over 10 minutes, which is the first one in a while. And again, these guys are really good, man. The Grizzly veterans, like I just call them the Grizzly veterans. Bullet Club is awesome, but I don't think they deserve
No,
to be the champs.
no, it's way too soon. But like it's like you said, like the tag teams, like when they started to build, like they started building up the good hands, and then they like started pairing them
Yeah,
off into singles competition, and it's just like
that's why.
they started with a lot of the roster. It's like
That's
hard
why. That's
to.
why I think they. That's why I think they have to win this.
Oh,
Just because
definitely.
looking at the past, like if they don't win, they're gonna get fucked and just fall apart. But we'll see. Dirty Dango came out. Always love Dirty Dango vignettes. He invited tag teams to come to challenge him in Oleg Prudius, which, good lord, that's another Scott. That's another classic Scott signing right there that I'd love to hear people, talk nicely about.
Another one I think that will be
Good.
joining Scott and Josh
Oh yeah,
Oleg.
probably yeah. Then there was another
I don't think
Mustafa.
we'll
Yeah, then there's Mustafa Ali. Yeah. Christian mentions I have seen Ali's booking dates, and he doesn't seem to have signed full time, but have several TNA dates this year, so that's interesting. There's your good hands backstage. Talk to Mustafa Ali, messing with Saban. So the good hands are still a thing, which is I don't
calling
know.
me a call me a fan of an underdog, but I've gotten to really warm up to Jason Hotch and John Schuyler as a tag team and as individuals backstage. They've been really funny, like
I mean,
hating on the crowd.
like we said, we liked them all along. Like they just I
Yeah,
don't know. They
yeah,
got that
like
like
even more so. I think I've gotten like I wouldn't mind seeing the straps on them at some point.
yeah, just they did it way too quick in the beginning, where they ended up
Yeah,
fighting for the tag titles.
yeah.
It was ridiculous, you know what I mean? But like, this is what they should be: funny guys in the back, slowly growing, and then start winning tag matches against shitty teams or whatever. So Crazy Steve versus Rhino next up. This actually got the most views on YouTube from all of these
Oh,
segments. Last I checked, and shockingly, you know what got the least amount of views? The Kazarian Jake something match,
oh
which
dear.
I think proves my point. Nobody cares about Jake something because of terrible booking. But Steve got the win. This was like a 6-minute match. I don't know. Rhino was Rhino. Fans, I think a lot of outside. What's the word? Casual fans like Rhino. They'll check in. They'll look at his YouTube stuff, and the numbers kind of say it.
Kind of couldn't believe this though because Steve got the win here over Rhino, which I feel Rhino's way more prominent than a Tommy Dreamer, and they've had Dreamer beat Steve, which was
To be fair,
I don't like,
there was a referee
but
distraction.
yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind Rhino as a TDM champion
Oh wait, hang on. I
only
have a good
because
idea. Hang on, I have a good idea. Okay, that's the end of the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Just in case we die right there. Okay, go ahead.
no, I just saying I don't mind Rhino as a wrestler by himself. I was like when he had him handcuffed as a tag team partner of Heath, it was kind of
Yeah,
cringy a little bit. Like I don't know that stuff might work in the
that was just
WWE, but
that was just a hey, we
here,
did this in WWE. Cheer for it again.
yeah, and like I could see Rhino running with the TDM title for 4 or 5 months, and then kind of
Yeah,
be a
I'm cool with that.
transition.
I'm cool with that. I'm guessing this continues, and I don't know if they announced a match for No Surrender, but maybe. I'll check that quickly after. Then Diener and Joe Hendry, and this shit has been way more. I'm sorry, Joe Hendry had been way more fun than I don't know. I thought he would be, and I think AJ Francis has been great, and me and Robles were talking about like him growing a group. I mean, remember what happened to Rich Swan? Maybe he was talking to Swan, and Swan like left with
Oh,
him. So,
okay.
so I think Swan is with him. So we were kind of
Oh,
putting together. Like,
you think he's with Hendry?
no, AJ.
Oh, you think he deep down is?
I think Swan when AJ talked to him that week and he walked off with him. I think like they kind of made a deal or something, and then I think AJ is going to kind of create a faction, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I did like this segment though. Like at one point, Joe Hendry kind of gets a one upsmanship again on AJ Francis with the band from diving diving song he did. I'm surprised that didn't go viral. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and again,
It was a take.
I think that's another thing. They get a lot of views. Hendry gets a lot of fucking views on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe that equals to TV. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was probably my best part of the whole show. I don't know. I'm probably easy to please, but had me laughing just because I was like, oh, they're taking the AJ Styles theme and they're doing it in Hendry's version of it.
I thought this was cool. They showed a video of Macklin attacking Dolph/Nemeth at a show in Puerto Rico, which they usually don't do.
Oh yeah, wasn't that? Oh, I was thinking something. It was something else. It wasn't Destiny, right?
I'm not sure where the hell. No, that's Canada. This was Puerto Rico,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not sure
Oh,
what it
okay.
was, but then
Yeah,
Macklin's
I don't know
backstage.
where
Macklin's been fantastic, and I think you mentioned like you were afraid that he would be the one because we knew that someone was going to be leaving TNA. We didn't know
Yeah,
who it was.
just because like I kind of feel like with him
Diana.
going. I mean, I know he was there to support Deanna,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, really, can you really blame him? They haven't really booked him.
No, I
Like
don't. But I don't know. I don't think just going by his Instagram and like videos and stuff, like he really seems like he cares and he wants to be a TNA guy. But I don't know if that
oh,
was
okay.
because I don't know if he's a Scott guy. He might. I don't know. He's a what is he? A friggin' military guy?
Well, we know
I don't think a
we
military
know
guy's
for one
gonna cry
we know
when
for one.
their captain leaves or whatever.
Well, that leaves it open to possibly Austin Aries returning too, because he's not a Scott or Don Callis guy. So
I mean, there's all kinds of people like that. We didn't even know who's guys and whatever could happen. So I'm so freaking excited. But all right, we got to get through this. So Trent Seven and Mike Bailey confronted Macklin and the Rascals. I mean, what the hell? I thought he was a heel Trent Seven. I have no idea what this guy is. He has no character. So he's going against Macklin next week. And spoiler, he's gonna fucking lose. I didn't read spoilers about that. I just know. And if he does win, then
well, the
Macklin's leaving. Trent Seven is an absolute
interest
nothing of a character.
well interesting to note with Trent Seven too. He's a Scott Demore guy. Scott's
Okay,
the
so
one
he'll be
who's
going too. Yeah.
so he likely won't be around probably the next couple of tapings, if not
I legit
AS.
laughed out loud when he showed up. Like this motherfucker just walked right out of IPWF. But whatever. Moving on. Killer Kelly had a match. Nice to see. Bad to see. She lost to Danny Luna in 4 minutes with a roll up.
Yeah, made it a point to mention that it was the first. I believe it was the first match Danny Luna has won in TNA.
4 minutes beating awesome Killer Kelly, who's a goddamn champion. This is the
Really,
bullshit.
4 minutes?
Yeah, this is the bullshit WWE thing where Danny won, so now maybe they're gonna win. Oh wait, no, they're not even going for the fucking tag titles. What was this for? It should have been. I'm thinking it was like
I
Rosemary
don't.
or someone to
I think it's because they've been having issues or whatever. Like,
oh, so they're trying to set up to them. Maybe they're setting up them breaking up.
Yeah, that or like maybe this one up being a 3-way or something. I don't know.
Yeah, fucking break all the teams up. Give us back knockouts. Make a mid card title like all these other stupid fucking companies have that every other company beat TNA to, which they love being the first to do shit. So they attacked Danny after the match, which was cool. Non-title match: Moose versus Kushida. Again, Christian mentioned this should not be a fucking television match. This should be a huge fucking match on a pay-per-view. It got 7 minutes. Moose got the win. Kushida is, again, what is Kushida? He's booked like shit. He's one of the best fucking wrestlers on the roster. There's no need, there was no need for this. Moose is the fucking world champion. He did not need to beat Kushida. He did not need to beat it in 7 fucking minutes. I mean, I have no idea.
Well,
I don't know what they're doing.
This match could have totally been on the card for No Surrender and kind of like
move
pieces around, and they could have just stuck it on there. But I mean, I know you got to have a good sized main event for these, these tapings and stuff. But like sometimes I think TNA is a little too giving, and like no one, likes to give back to them.
Yeah. Okay, so really quick, No Surrender as of now. Moose versus Shelley. The only way to win is one of your ringside teammates has to throw in a towel, which could be interesting and lead to something. Jordan versus Giselle, LOL. Sabin versus Mustafa Ali, that could be an interesting one. Will Mustafa win and stick around for? I mean, we know he's going to stick around for a little, thanks to Christian. Knockouts tag, Decay versus MK Ultra. Yeah, I guess Decay wins and MK Ultra is going to be breaking up, which I'm totally cool with because they need more knockouts. Josh versus Gotch. That's just stupid in rhymes, and I guess Gotch. I don't know. Maybe Josh goes out winning. Who knows? And then PCO versus Khan.
I guess
Sorry.
the only thing that main attraction there is to focus on PCO, having them
Yeah.
have fun annihilating Khan, I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. 5 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Okay. I'm sure they'll throw in a bunch
Yeah,
of other bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I think they
this
announced.
Thursday.
No, I'm sorry. No, they announced another one with Eddie is on the pre-show, and it's also with Kushida. Kushida is also on the pre-show. Like,
And there's probably be another match added Thursday night, so stay tuned for TNA on Access to see if there's any more matches added.
that was another thing. Macklin did an interview, and he was asked about being on the pre-show, and he like, it was kind of like he wasn't asking like in a dick way, but it was like, the kind of like, how do you feel about being on the pre-show? And he's like, it's a great spot. That's where people watch the show and they can see if they're gonna buy it, which I don't actually buy, but it shows like he's a fucking company guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a wrestler, as even halfway prominent on the roster, I can honestly say I don't think I'd want to be on the pre-show. How about you, Jay?
Yeah, no. Nope. Okay, and something just happened with my phone, so I think we might be fucking right now.
I have that big of an ego.
No. You kidding me? Really? I need to be fucking main event Jay. What are you kidding? All right, that's it for this week. Everyone will be back with our No Surrender review and, more importantly, spoilers. We'll catch you this weekend or Monday, whenever.
And one program reminder to be sure to check out Jay's TNA Quickie. He did it over the past, like 4 or 5 days ago, was it, Jay?
Yes, thank you very much. It's the latest video before this one. Peace.